Good morning and hello. And please let me know right away if the sound is good. And welcome on Facebook. If you're joining from there, welcome. Let's see, who's here first? I'm kind of waking up a little bit. Bear with me. Shawnee? Hey, Shawnee. Welcome. How are you doing, Shawnee? Nice to see you. Good morning. Hey, Jamie. How you doing, Jamie? Joseph checking in from Ireland. Hello, and Alan. Hey, Alan. How's it going? Our beautiful Harlem Sentinel, Karen. Karen Scott, greetings to the Chatmosphere family. Breakfast porch chat. That's right. No MSM. We got Professor Jim. I love it. Thank you so much. Hey, Ann, what's up? Tina, how you doing, Tina? Doing good today? I hope. And Molly's here. Hey, Molly, you're here early. No, it's in brunch with Professor Jim. Let me know what you're having. It's good, the sound. Hey, Jules. Nice to see you when you come in. Hey, Juan. Good morning. And Lisa. All right. So hopefully we'll have a good stream. Oh, wow. I have to say hi to Mrs. Harris. She's from Philly. You know, our Philly people just put John in there, hashtag John, if you are from Philly and I miss you in the comment section. If I miss you in the comment section, just please repeat something because sometimes I'm in a zone and I don't see your comments, okay? Mrs. Harris, it's been a minute since I've seen you. And there's Girl Code, early rise, sissy. Yes, you love the hair, really? Thank you. It needs, it needs a little attention. So, listen, Sissy, I hope you tap in. You've got the link. I'm gonna kick things off, but you come on in. I'll see you whenever you come on in. The guru is here. My brother. My brother is here. The guru. Hey, the guru and golden amethyst is here. Beautiful. Hello. Nice to see you. And we have Steph on stage. Hey, Steph. I haven't seen you in a while. Let's give Steph some love. It's been a minute, Steph. Nice to see you. And unequally quit, Chris. Welcome. Nice to see you. And Christine. Hi, Christine. What's up? Another morning. Yeah, the morning, I don't know. It's just feeling, we used to do the morning. For anybody who's new to this Chatmosphere, we've been in these little truther streets for 3 years plus. A lot of us have gotten to know each other in different communities, probably 3 years, right? And some of us longer, but we've lost channels. So we always seem to find each other. It's like a big escape room kind of scenario sometimes, but we have known each other out here. And it's been interesting, hasn't it, Seabreeze? You've been one of the ones that, yes. Thank you, Seabreeze. I appreciate you. Yes, so It's not. Oh, and Aaliyah. Good morning, Aaliyah. Nice to see you. Grand Rising. And Tony, nice to see you again. Good morning. And we have, of course, Tanya. What's up? Shalom, Tanya. She did a shalom, shalom, shalom. Love it when it comes in threes like that. Thank you. Yes. So, yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah. So, I want to talk about some things that aren't comfortable. And I know it's Sunday. And, I've told you I was a little church lady where, I was very regimented in the way I thought, the way I behaved, everything. So Sunday was always reserved for church. And I currently don't do that anymore. And I know people still do. I have learned and unlearned a lot of things, and it would make it virtually impossible to go to church in the way that I used to go to church. I was what I call now a Disneyland Christian. I lived out in Los Angeles, Thousand Oaks, and I went to one of those Calvary chapels, all the pretty people. And in LA, they're already pretty. So imagine a group of Christian pretty people. They're the Disneyland Christians. I look at them now because literally we would, do things like that, go to Disneyland after church, and do things like, fellowship. I still, am connected to a lot of them. We're connected in different ways now, but we had a good time together. It was good fellowship, but it was more of a social club. We weren't making an impact in this culture, which I will be talking about. This culture is so rotten. This culture is so degraded that the church, I'm going to speak to the church in America, the impact is not felt. Because in my hometown, which any of you Philly Johns can confirm, that you can drive throughout neighborhoods in Philadelphia and you will see a church on every single corner. You will see storefront churches everywhere. And I'm talking about what you would consider the hood. The places that you see the most moral decay, as well as physical decay. You will see churches littered everywhere. And I have always found that to be, I could never reconcile these things. But I would turn off my questions because, questions are not welcomed. Not the kind of questions that a lot of us ask since Sunday school. We have been people that ask questions. That's why we hang out like we do. We rock the boat. We don't go along to get along. Therefore, when we have questions, it's like everybody's, oh, here we go. You were probably the kid in school whenever, I was in a magnet program, and it was welcomed in high school to get into these philosophical things, debates even. I've even liked to debate. I grew up with a Jewish stepmother who, in her family, that was a sign of love that you debated. And you better know how to stand on whatever your argument is, but you always attack the argument, not the person. No ad hominems. You learn how to do debate. And I've always liked good debate. You don't see it too much anymore, but it's out there. I welcome it here. If anybody wants to have a healthy debate about anything, I will drop a link to you. You just let me know. If Karen sees you in a chatmosphere, if you want to have a debate, and you want to pick the topic, I will consider that. If you all want to, hear a debate, I think we're kind of far past debates anymore. Have you noticed, like, we're in a whole different season of things? There's not a whole lot to debate really anymore, because our society has degraded to such a point that all we are doing now is we're like, what the F? What just happened? After 2020, it's like, what the hell? Everything is out so bold. And that's why I sit here online on a Sunday and not up in somebody Pastor Pookie's church, prophetess and church mothers. And I'm going to get on y'all. I will. Maybe not today. Maybe today. We'll see. Let me get a sip of the mud water. Not the one that they promote, but the one that I make here. Right? The guru, I gave him some DE to take back with him. I hope are you doing any of the DE? Probably in your smoothies, like he does smoothies. That's right. Girl Co says 3 years in this joint. Up in this joint. Okay. So yeah, I am now at a there you are, Juan. There you are. Liquor stores. That's one thing you can be guaranteed of. That in the cities like my hometown, Philadelphia, you will see churches and liquor stores amok, abounding. Plethoras. Every corner, I kid you not. So if that's the case, why does Philadelphia look like the set of Michael Jackson's Thriller? Why is that, church? Churches in West Philly, South Philly, North Philly, just Philly. Philadelphia. That's one of the churches of Revelation, of the Revelator. Remember the Revelator talked to the 7 churches? One of those churches was the Church of Philadelphia. And what did, we can get into that at another time, but I'm just saying, sometimes I rattle off all the churchianity that is in me, and I'm not going to knock it all. Like anything, we have to be honest about like just a balanced view of it. I've met some amazing people when I was in my churchianity. I met amazing people. And, it did encourage me to study. These are the ways we became researchers, historical researchers, because we were interested in biblical narratives, a lot of us. So that's how we got into these spaces of digging below the narrative. I mean, we fell for a lot of things. We got caught up in the cult of whatevers. And now we're unlearning. We're going through whatever our sis, Lauryn Hill. It's the miseducation. We're realizing that it was the miseducation, right, Darkitect? Good morning. Yeah, Mrs. Harris, you're saying yes. The teachers would roll their eyes when my hand went up. I realize now it was because they probably couldn't answer my questions. And that's often the case. They can't answer them. And they don't like to think about things like that. You bother them. We bother them all the time with the talking about this. They want to talk about Young Miami and golden showers from P. Diddy, as they're calling him. It's trending, everybody. I keep my look. I'm looking at the whole tapestry, okay? All the holes and inconsistencies, okay? So yes, we'll be talking about Young Miami, okay? I know y'all don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Young Miami. Just write a little note on a sticky and remind me to tell you who Young Miami is and why this is going to figure into what I'm talking about, okay? Young Miami. Write it down. Good morning, Mercedes. Hello. It's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a doozy, I'm sure. Hello and welcome back, Somnambulous. Did I say it right? I love that. I love the name. You got to tell me, if I'm saying it right at least. That's right, Tenye. No ad hominems. If you know how to communicate, let me tell you, you can destroy someone with your words, especially written words. Written words are very powerful. If you have the gift of, gab, or you have the gift of the pen, the sword, you can do some damage to this world system. Because that's what it is. It's a system, and we were put through this system. Now we are watching it collapse. And that's the kind of stuff we have to get real about. Because when I was in the churchianity, I believe that I'll fly away, right? I just knew that in the imminent space of time that this little outfit would just be bloop on the floor. Everything. I'm instantly the sound of the archangel, right? And the trumpet of God. And we will instantly be changed and caught up with him in the clouds to meet him. Right? Weren't you believing that imminent pilots, you would want to, if you were flying and unbelievers, you would want to check and see, are the pilots Christian? Because if the rapture is going to happen, I don't want my pilot to just be raptured out of the cockpit, right? Weren't they talking stuff like that? These were the kind of conversations going on in the churchianity spaces. Do you remember these conversations? Were you a part of? You know what I'm saying? These are the things that we're now reconsidering. The rapture is a theory. It's the rapture theory. We were taught that it was an absolute truth and that it would happen the way Tim LaHaye wrote, the way we saw Hollywood depict these things. And a lot of us have been church hurt because now we're realizing, okay, the third temple wait a minute, the red heifer, we talked about that. Oh, the utensils, the temple utensils, they're all prepared. All the temple utensils, we got them all. And all we're waiting for, where's the temple utensils? We've got them, everybody. Everybody who studied all the eschatology, we've got all the utensils. They're here. We're ready. We've got the red heifer. We've got the red heifer, and we've got, what else do we have? We have the red heifer. What other things would you, the plans and everything. Right? And I'm looking, why isn't the temple built yet? Why isn't the third temple built yet? What's going on? I expected it by now. According to my calculations, the third temple should be built, and then we see the Antichrist come through. He comes, boom, coming through the doors, right? And he desecrates everything. Desecrate. That's how I expected it to happen. And he's going to announce it on CNN. It's going to be on all channels, right? He's going to come and announce, you are now living in the one world order, the new world order, the one world government, and you're going to have to bow down to me right now or get into the guillotines, right? Didn't they scare you with all this stuff? Kind of scare you I don't know. Some of us were like, yeah, bring it on. Now you're kind of like, okay, where are we again in this narrative? What? Okay, so the one world government, when were we supposed to get that email that the one world government is now beginning today on date? Guess what? We're realizing, oh my goodness, while we were working and distracted, they had already done the one world government. Klaus Schwab's and those guys, those ghouls that go every year in their multi-billion million dollar airplanes. They fly in and have, a bacchanal in this little quaint town, like the Sound of Music in Switzerland, right? And they're over there planning your death, okay? I'm just going to say it. I'm not mincing words today, okay? We got time. Look, we don't have a lot of time, a lot of people, okay? That's the issue right now. A lot of us thought we were going to do certain things. Okay, and then you realize, wait, you started paying attention and you're like, wait a minute. We're in a whole different vibe right now. We got to, oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, wow. Wow. We let this happen, church? They're in there. I know they're up in there. They're just waiting for that service to end so they could go and eat somewhere. Because church and eating go hand in hand, don't they? Church and eating. So they're going to be piling into the restaurants that are barely staffed right now. You've seen the mess out here in society. They can't get people to come and work at a lot of these jobs. So they're running short. And you can see it. You can see the things have changed quite a bit in this society. But the moral decay, we are at the point where we in America are so decadent that we're watching this system crumble. And at the same time, we're watching the boldness of the darkness of the culture. And some Christians have been silent their whole entire life about these things because they're afraid. They're afraid of being judged. They're afraid of losing things, friends, money, whatever. They're afraid of being canceled and being called judgmental. You're so judgmental. You're not supposed to judge people or you be judged. They're good at the people who don't want any light to be shown. They really are big on all of the ways you shouldn't judge this society and culture. It is our obligation to judge this culture and this society. We're not supposed to be silent. That's the problem. Too much silence. Too much fakery. Disneyland Christianity. Laodiceans. So we're looking at right now women, and I'm a stay on women because this destruction is coming really in a powerful way through women. Yes. Women, listen, we have to take accountability, and it has to be, aside from men. and their role in the demise of the culture. They have a whole different set of things that they need to be accountable to. And that's very clear. But as women, the way that this society is unraveling, we are the dark mothers right now. The dark motherhood, the most toxic femininity, toxic feminism. You know, I already said it, and you could just coin the term, let it be said among us, spread it far and wide. That we've had these waves of feminism, and we've had first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave. The wave now that we're on, and I will repeat it over and over, this is clown wave feminism. Clown wave feminism. If anybody is a feminist, I mean a true feminist, I don't know how they can stay silent. And you know, I'm someone that, again, I like a diversity of thought, especially if it's reasonable. And there are such reasonable feminists. There are. And they would probably agree with that, Molly. They would probably agree that this is clown wave feminism. And some of those feminists, I think I follow one of them. Her name is, if you all can remind me, because you probably know who I'm talking about. She was going against the mandates and things. And she's a classical, I think, is it, is her name Camilla? But she's like a classical liberal. Like I talk about classical liberalism, more of a, like, I bring up Jimmy Dore. He's probably if I looked at an avatar of a classical liberal and a Democrat, like, you know, as they say, more of a Kennedy Democrat, one that you could find lots of common ground with when it comes to society and culture. You know, they would agree that we shouldn't be in all these wars. You know, they agree with a lot of things. It's just the classical liberals, you know, they differed on maybe things such as capitalism. I think that's their biggest gripe and stuff, you know, capitalism and stuff like that. They're more socialists. And if they're honest with you, you can have great debates and conversations, and you can be heard by each other. And there are a couple of classical feminists that have awakened to just how far and extreme that our culture has gone. And they are realizing and repenting for some things, because everybody, we have all been miseducated. This has been the miseducation of all of us, not just Lauryn Hill. So even a classical feminist is looking and like, wait a minute, I didn't sign up to walk into the gym bathroom and see a woman with a penis. I didn't sign up for that. And by the way, that's happening. That's happening, everybody. I didn't just make that up. But see, a classical feminist would see the dangers. If you are, you know, you're in a gym or a spa and you have a young girl, a little girl, and a woman, and maybe an older woman, and they are there with their guard down. You know, they're not expecting to see male genitalia. We, look, I told you guys I went to that Korean spa up in Atlanta. They have an amazing Korean spa. Shout out to the Koreans, okay? The spas are everything. There's one up in Atlanta, and you know that the culture is, you go and chill. You chill for the whole day. Some people sleep at night, stay in the spa. If you had an argument with your wife, you might go and stay the night in the spa. You could just have a little, we call them little pallets, and just sleep there until you can come back home after your wife has cooled down. That happens. But that Korean spa, it's like a free, thing. They got the towels off on. You're not even looking at anybody. You're just there to have the experience of healing. But you see, it's all ages there. And you have one side for the women, one side for the men. Only two sides. Did you notice that? I didn't mention 3 sides, 4, 5, 6. 2 sides. One for the men and one for the women. And everybody is relaxed, like I said, just, in their own space, not paying attention to, nobody's immature that you're looking at a naked body, because it goes with the setting. And you don't expect to see men. Okay, did I say it? I didn't stutter. You don't expect to see men. And men are identified at that point by their genitalia. And if a little girl is over there with her mother and grandmother having a girls' day at this spa, they should not be subjected to seeing male genitalia. And that's on period. See, that's why we are in law school, because this is a law. You don't do that, because that wasn't disclosed. That wasn't the social contract. We didn't consent to that. And that's breaking law. That's breaking law. And it is harming people. That is harmful. And we, as a society, should not have to placate these. It's a minority of people. It's very few, but they would like to make it spread like a virus and normalize it and force it. And that's not fair. That's why women have to fight. Women have to get involved. You can't stay silent as we are being attacked in a way that is biblical in nature. It is biblical. We have been saying this to people. It's going to be biblical. They thought we were crazy. They didn't understand that it would be biblical, that the days that we were approaching would be biblical, and that they are. The seed of the woman and the serpent's seed. The attack has increased, and the children are being hunted. And I'm going to show you why I say that. I'm not exaggerating for dramatic, effect. I mean it. I'm not being hyperbolic. I mean it. They are hunting the children. And women have left their post. They've left their post to go be sexy. To be a MILF, to attract a child. I said it. I mean it too. To attract a child. Because that's what a MILF looks like with a 20-something-year-old. That's what it looks like. A child, your son's friend, Jada Pinkett Smith. You see? You see how that happens? It's the woman. And see, we have this very toxic sorority that some of us will defend a woman right or wrong. We will defend a woman on just the mere fact that she has ovaries. That's not good. That's not lawful. And that is why our society has decayed so quickly. Because women have left their post. We can't blame men right now. We have to have this is our part that we have to deal with. Our silence, giving complicit agreement by being silent and scared. Always scared. A scared frequency. Yeah, remember Eve? There you go, Mercedes. Thank you. Shout out. That's correct. Remember Eve, everybody? Remember her? Huh, what's up with her? We're going to have to deconstruct Eve. We're going to have to get into Eve. Go right back to the garden and to understand what we need to get together. Because she set us all up. The bitch set me up. Didn't Mayor Barry say that? Marion Barry? He said the bitch set me up. Right? That would be like hashtag for Eve. The bitch set me up. I'm just saying. I can't like vouch for her. I'm sorry. So that whole Eve thing is going to factor into what I want to talk about. Because I've been rambling. This is going to be a long one. Hey, honey. Hey, honey. Hey, Paulette. How you doing, Paulette? Alan, you like that? I'm just saying. You remember when Marion Barry, you know what the ironies of it all? If you remember, like, you have like that memory where you put a lot of Marion Barry and our president, our first son, Hunter Biden, they hung out together, smoked crack together, okay? They went back like cook crack, right? That's what they could say about each other. We went back like cook crack, but the only thing is Marion Barry is not here anymore. But yes, that's one of his old crack buddies. Crack it crackling. They got it cracking together. So isn't that interesting? All of the connections. This first son of our president of the United States of America, Inc., his son used to smoke crack with Marion Barry, who said hashtag the bitch set me up. Wow. That's a circle back, right? We'll do a few of those if we can make the connections, right? Hey, Flower Girl Apothecary, welcome. Always nice to see you. And wait, Hawk Risa, it's nice. Now, I hadn't seen you in a while. And Brianna. Hi, Brianna. I love that you're here. Welcome. If only they could crack that open and showcase. I'm telling you. Hey, Queenie's World, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Nikki. Yes. So I'm just saying, I remember a lot of things, and I'm one of those people. I don't forget some things like people would want me to forget, but I get it from my mom. We just don't forget a lot of things. You just I'm sorry. I should have given warning, warning, warning. Put your coffee down right now. Circle crack instead of circle crystal heart. I like that. Wait a minute. The cat again. She's going to do, cats are catty. If you don't know, they know when you need them to chill. And that's when she could take a nap. But no, she's back and forth, in and out okay, I had to give her a little swat. Okay, stay in, don't show out. You know, when I have my live streams, you always want to do it. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Dark Queens, and I'm going to show you some inconsistencies that I want you to look at with me. If you have anybody who is into these idols, if they like them a lot, if they're open to considering, because I don't want to attack them. I don't want to do that. I mean, I wish I was wrong. These are the things that literally our egos, a lot of us, we could be good with being wrong. I would be so cool if it was just like all like, oh no, I was off. I was tripping that day. I needed probably some coffee. And I wish I could be wrong about the stuff that we see, the patterns, the very weird coincidences, right? And why? We need to figure this out, because we can no longer be apathetic and silent. Everything changed. We don't have the time, for one. I know people feel that time is not real, but time has a bearing on this realm. And when it comes to time for other people now, for those that are in the will of the Lord, time does not matter. In fact, a lot of us are compressing time, right? Aren't we compressing time? And we know it's not linear. We understand it more. But for those that are really caught in this materialistic, they are really like, they love it all. They sold their soul for a Birkin bag, right? That's all their soul cost, was a Birkin bag. A lot of women have laid on their backs for handbags and shoes. That's all. Handbags, shoes, and plastic surgeries. A lot of women have laid on their backs. And they've done more than laid on their backs. And we're going to get into that, because this is the dark feminist. This is the clown wave of feminism. Whenever you go against the natural law, it winds up collapsing in on itself. And that is what has happened to the modern woman, if I can borrow a term from the manosphere. Is that okay, ladies? Is it okay that I borrow that term from the manosphere and call this clown wave feminism the modern woman, the plague of the modern woman? Because that's what's happening. One says modern woman is an illusion. Absolutely an illusion. Hey, Odinga. I'm not surprised that Odinga wants to say, long live the manosphere. And you know what? That's what I'm saying. I'm okay with that. If Odinga wanted to ever have me drop a link and we have a debate about the manosphere and what I think of it, what I have come to observe of the manosphere, he is more than welcome. Anybody from the manosphere, I would be okay with it. We could work it out, right? So yeah, I'm just letting you know. Yes, T. Witten, I'm glad to see you here too. T. Witten is saying soul selling cheap. Yes, for look, depreciating depreciating goods. Although I know purists would say that, I've had my education about these handbags, and I know that they appreciate, supposedly they appreciate. If you buy a Louis Vuitton, you can trade it in. It appreciates. A Birkin, God, I don't know, whatever. But I'll tell you this, with eggs costing $8 a carton, I think that Birkin bag and that Louis Vuitton are going to look a little different in a little while. And then check back with me and tell me about the appreciation of your Birkin and Louis. Okay. As the price of eggs continues going up, I want to hear how important those handbags are and those shoes. Okay. Let me know. I'll be waiting. So, selling your soul for things that can rot away. Because if you didn't have the Louis or the Birkin in some protective bags and things and keep them in good condition, if you just let it sit around and you whatever, tell me how it would fare. Because after a while, law. It's all law, natural law. Okay. And again, as the price of eggs continues to go up, we'll see. That's all I'll say. We'll see, ladies. Okay, we'll see, we'll check back. We'll circle back. So we have Madonna having a concert, and I want to bring up how weird the timing is. So you can call it conspiracy. It's okay. We already we're over that. We don't care about those labels. It's kind of weird, I'll say, that these two dark toxic feminists, I'll call them, I put them in that category. They have a dark matriarchal feminist girl, girls rule the world, right? Single ladies, all my single ladies. Meanwhile, I'm married, but I'm encouraging you to be a single lady and celebrate it and dance, with your robot hand, right? Meanwhile, she's hitched. So this type of feminism, because you had Madonna, I mean, hey, we don't have to even go back. We just recall. What does one of her things was Material Girl, right? And I've already established in my other video about Madonna, I believe Madonna has contributed to the rotting of our moral fabric, not just in America, worldwide, as well as Beyoncé. These two are having concerts. So it's the concert vibe right now. And we need to look into, why are you all of a sudden going on a concert tour? I get it. We had, the flim flam demic, right? And, the Jonestown jabs were just flowing. It's interesting because I peruse the social media accounts, and these two didn't have too much to say about things like the Jonestown jab. Beyonce's been radio silent on issues. And she used to be a big issue person. She pushed lots of narrative. In fact, if you go into, I don't know if you want to, I've done it for you, okay? But I can just tell you could go and check back. And we can go through it right here. Beyonce backed politicians. She was very political at one time. You hear Josephine speaking. Yes, if you hear crazy cray Josephine, she's at the window and she chirps with the birds. So She talks to birds. I can make a song about it. She talks to birds. She's a crazy cat. I just tune it out, but it is funny when I do she's crazy though. I'm just telling you, she's a fun crazy. Madonna on your for those legal funds. Yeah. Yeah, listen. I'm telling you, it is about to get real. Beyonce has a church where they sing and worship her. Yes. It's a church dedicated to Beyonce, a couple of them actually. So it's a very weird thing. Hey, Desi, you said it's for a reason. Yes, yes. Hey, Cheryl Ann, welcome to Cheryl Ann. Let's welcome Cheryl Ann. Nice to see you, Desi. Hi, how are you? Yes. So Dash, hey Dash, you said she's talking back to me. Maybe she is. She's so funny though. Hey Aurora, welcome. Yes. Okay. Thank you. I'm glad Joseph said all concerts, sports events are mass ritual events, mass energy harvesting and mind control. So that is very, very important to keep in mind. Okay. So I want to go through a little bit of why I'm putting some things together in terms of what is going on with these two women. So you have Beyonce, who had a concert, okay? And it was a very special, high, whatever, elite concert. And they paid her somewhere in the neighborhood of $24 million to come over to Dubai to give a concert. And as you can see in the thumbnail, she's dressed in more of a covering, because Dubai has this, sort of, I don't know. I've heard you don't have to do it. It's more of a respect thing, but this might have been in the clause of the contract to do a concert there, is that she had to be dressed. I mean, and I saw, I won't play the clips of it. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. She is clothed and the dancers are clothed more than we see of her, because we used to see more fabric on Beyonce, and then it became, I'm just wearing a bathing suit. And then I was just scratching my head when that became a normal thing for Beyonce to just be on the stage with basically a leotard, a bathing suit, just, a one piece bathing suit all the time. It would just always seem, I get it, you can see the legs while she's dancing, but it just seemed that everybody started doing it too. And it just became like, I don't know, just that was the norm. It didn't seem very creative, but as you can see, the concert footage from Dubai, it looked more elegant, actually. I had to say that, the dancers and everything, it's more elegant. And that's the thing that we as women don't really appreciate about femininity. True femininity and beauty is that, as they say, you don't have to bear everything to the public. It's not necessary. And it has taken away and degraded the image of the woman so much that we are now at the clown wave feminism. And it's actually a big joke. It's become a mockery of the woman, because we've left our post. Thank you, Desi. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I love doing this. I really do. So, okay. So she had the concert, $24 million. And that's weird. It's a weird kind of thing. Now, if you go to her Instagram, there's no mention of this concert. It's odd. A lot of things are just incongruent. And that's what I want to bring, the incongruencies, inconsistencies to the table for us to, analyze, because it does matter. I know some people are in their little new agey, like I said, Disneyland Christianity where you could, oh, I'm just into positivity. Now I'm just like positive, like people that are all into positivity 100%. I'm beginning to like kind of sideways look at people like that because I realized I can't do that. Okay. I can't be all into this, like, oh, I have to vibe so high and I can't talk about these things. I have to act like I don't see it when I walk down the street. I don't see these things because I'm on a high vibe. I only high vibe talk. That's all I do is I just hang out with high vibe people. That's all we talk. We just have high vibe conversations. That's all we do. We're always high vibe. We're light and love, light and love, light and love, light and love. We're always this. And meanwhile, the same society that you have to live light and love in has degraded. It's like walking through the nastiest bathroom at a gas station. You have to stop and you have to consider, is it cleaner for you to go in the bushes and take your chances? Some bathrooms I've walked in, they're so dirty. I couldn't even wash my hands in the bathroom. It was that dirty. Well, that's what this society is like. And all you love and light people all the time, love and light, it's actually negligence. It's called toxic positivity. And it's apathy, and it's what is wrong with our society. Meanwhile, some people will get their hands dirty. They will look into things that are not comfortable, that are going to disturb their little light and love. I don't ever want my light and love disturbed. I want to go to Pilates and have my nice little lattes and I just, light and love all the time. That's not love. That is not, that right there is, I'm starting to really, I have contempt for that. I'll be honest. I have contempt for that. If people think that they are just going to have rainbows and unicorns all the time, and our children are being hunted down, the world that we are leaving behind for them is nothing but chaos and confusion. And we don't want to untangle it. We don't want to get our hands dirty. That is dereliction of duty. That's what it is. Dereliction of duty. And a lot of people are guilty. And it's going to take maybe more. Do you want more of the clown world? That you think that you can love and light your way through without ever acknowledging that it's not all love and light down here? No matter how many mountains you can live up on, you eventually have to come down to the valley. You can't be insulated from this. You can't. We don't have the luxury of it anymore. Maybe you did before 2020. You had a luxury to stay in a bubble. I like that stuff too. But we can't. Some of us can't. Some of us have to get our hands dirty. We have to go and look at these uncomfortable things and talk about them and be disrupted. And risk the beehive stings. The beehive. Can you imagine? We have people that worship Beyoncé to a point that they freely admit to being in a beehive mind. They will attack people. They will troll and do all kinds of things, possibly maybe physical things, just because you bring up anything about this woman. You're not allowed to do that. Nobody should be held in such a high place, a lofty place like that. No human being is above another when it comes to natural law. And everyone in this kind of free society, especially if they wield power and influence, they must be looked at with a critical eye and lens. When they have the minds of our young people, they must be looked at. And when they are going astray, it must be spoken boldly. It can be in love, whatever your style is, it needs to be spoken. It's not okay. The young people need to hear more voices saying, I don't think that's cool. I don't think golden showers are things that you should allow to happen to you. That's not something that is going to work out well for you if you like golden showers. Okay? Yeah, we have to have the conversations. It's not comfortable. But they have no problems talking about this. And your children are going to hear this will splash back. They will hear about this stuff. You know, I used to hang out with one of my cousin's little girls, and I used to always take she's a cousin too, but she was just a kid. You know, I'd take her with my daughter all over the place. We were always hanging out. And she would ask me questions that I'm like, oh my God, you know, she's 8 years old asking, she might have asked me something like, what are golden showers? What is that? Now I have to tell her this. Now people are going to have to tell their children because now it's out in the culture. Now it's trending. This is what's trending right now. But we'll get into it. Okay, so you have Beyonce over in Dubai, $24 million. And, you know, they had the whole thing. I mean, you could see the people, they look super elite. You know, they had the fireworks and the whole thing. So the people that struggle to purchase things that she puts out, the content, she's long since left the everyday person. And that's where you have to now look at this like, okay, you worship this idol. She's not, you know, she's not thinking about the regular person anymore. You're not important. That's why they can have their ticket sales at such ridiculously priced tickets at a time when eggs are costing $8 a carton. $8 a carton. And they are having concerts right now. If that's not the whole like Maria Antoinette throw cake at them, I don't know what is. It's a disrespect of your fellow human. And it, you know, Madonna takes it even further, and we'll look at why I'm saying that. She takes it even further. So let me share 1 minute, and welcome. If I haven't seen you in the chat, please know that I'm happy you're here, and I'll probably be on a roll, so I might not see some of the comments, but I want to go through some of this. These two women that are suddenly having concerts. Let's see if it's working. Okay, so I'll take it from Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair has posted that Madonna is part of their icon issue. And it's interesting, you know, Catholicism, I don't know if I still have some Catholic friends, don't I? Let me know if you're Catholic and you're still, is this good? We're going to deal with some tech issues here and there, but bear with me. I Okay, icon issue. So you, you know, some of my, I said some of my Catholic friends are still rocking with me. I probably offended a few of them, but because I look at everything. I was, Christian Catholic. My dad's Catholic, so whatever. But I think everybody should be held to the same. If I could look at my church critically, I can look at everything. So no one again is a sacred whatever cow that they can't be scrutinized. So Madonna has disrespected the Catholic religion to a point that it's like, wow, the desecration that is being done and so celebrated. Like Vanity Fair, is also at fault for this. Like they will censor things and this is okay with them, the icon issue, and you see the heart there. And one thing that our girl code, our sister chimed in and really, she sees things, that others don't see. She looks for the codes and she pointed out that there are 7 swords right here in this heart. You see them right here. And, you can see all the crosses that she's wearing in here. And it's just, what in the world? For somebody who grew up Catholic, I get it. I know a lot of Catholics that are really, mad about things that happened, of course, as they come out of these things. But I mean, to do these things is just ridiculous. So she's the queen of pop. She's having something called a celebration tour. So she's a 64-year-old woman. And she's being, hailed for all of these various like collaborations with fashion. And that's the thing that we are coming to grips with, is that the fashion industry is extremely demonic. And a lot of us need to really repent of this slavery to such a demonic institution, whatever you want to call it. So Madonna has been a friend of the fashion industry. She's worked with lots of big names, Dolce and Gabbana and Margiela, Gucci, Jean Paul Gaultier, John Galliano, lots of names, through the years. And as you can see, this right here, this is where the toxic femininity it jumps the shark at this point, because she has the Last Supper and it's all women. It's very just dark. And she is depicting herself as Jesus. So, I mean, this is where we are in the clown world, the clown wave feminism. And I know a lot of people that like to call God she, and, they like to play around with that stuff a lot. I don't know. I sometimes just let that stuff slide. But this is where we are as we slide into everything having to be girl power, girls rule the world. Everything is catered to girls. But at the same time now, girls can be boys can be girls. So the whole thing of gender is just I don't know what a word to just describe. But here we are. Madonna puts her own spin on the Last Supper. So it makes it seem like Madonna comes up with these ideas, the way they worded that. She puts her own spin. So is Madonna the one that comes up with the concepts? Is she that, powerful that she's the one that, plans all this out? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Is she a puppet or is she more powerful? A powerful puppet, maybe. So religious iconography abounds throughout the spread, with Madonna recreating the Last Supper in another vignette, this time surrounded exclusively by women. In this very special issue, Madonna becomes Madonna again, an icon, not just the embodiment of a musical trend or a style of dress, but a figure as disturbing as she is sacred. Can you imagine? They are bringing Madonna back. From where? Where was she that she has to come back? So it's 40 years of Madonna. And 40 is a very significant, number, biblically, the 40 years of being in the wilderness. You know what I'm talking about. So she has given herself up, body and soul, to the creativity of our photographers. And, like a virgin, the contours of her relationship to religion. So you can see this picture here. It says there's this representation of the struggle that every woman has to fight against the patriarchal world that she lives in. A world where you're pushed from side to side, a world that hurts you, a world very much like bullfighting arenas. This is spoken by a woman who is part of such an elite circle that she would be talking about women being oppressed this way. She has no sense of oppression in her life. And I would dare say women in America don't have a lot to complain about when it comes to being a woman. Okay. And I will say that, and I mean it. I mean, we have our issues with things, yes, but the way that these clown wave feminists talk, especially someone from such a high perch as Madonna, for her to say that she lives in a patriarchal world is so dishonest. When you see men dancing around her, and these men look like they're objects, just she objectifies men a lot. So you can see this whole thing. They're taking these, I won't go through it all, but she's bringing up her Catholicism and upbringing, feminism, sexuality, which go hand in hand, of course, patriarchy, always talking, and parenting her 6 children, who, it is a big question right now in terms of her being a parent to these children. These adoptions and her dealings over in Africa, Malawi to be, exact, which it could be more nations in Africa, but thank goodness there is a spotlight on Madonna right now and what has been going on with her and children from Africa. So, she has all these children, from Africa, and it's a lot of questionable things going on. And she, to me, is not of a moral character to even adopt a goldfish. And I said it. She is not fit to adopt a goldfish. So the fact that she was able to get children out of Africa is, a lot went wrong, and these children were harmed. I will say that they were harmed. So here you are, a woman who claims that she lives in a patriarchy, yet has, this looks like a man dressed up in a skirt, a dress. So, and this is all of her creative ideas, right? So here you are. She is celebrating her tour celebration July 15th in Vancouver. It's going to span 35 cities, and she's going to do all of these songs from her 40 years. 40 years. And let's see. And you can see her, she does not want to be 64. You can see she's fighting hard, and we don't know all of the substances that she partakes in to look even that young, if we could even call it young. So here we are, Madonna, 40 years of a music career, 40 years of basically destroying our fabric, our moral fabric. And that's page 6. Thank you, page 6. So let's move on. Um, how much money do you think these tickets might cost? Again, if you look on a site, and I looked on the ticket places, and these tickets are going for, they start at, 100, over $100. I saw nothing under $100. And something that I did see in the comment section is that if you carried a Chase card, you could buy tickets early if you had a Chase um, credit card. And if you were part of her fan club, like an insider circle, you could buy these tickets like early. So they have a lot of things that, if you are an insider. No, I was wrong. Actually, Madonna is coming to State Farm Arena in Atlanta September 5th. And the tickets start at, lowest ticket is $227, everyone. That's the cheapest ticket. Yeah, they go up 290. Yeah. What do you think about that? Like these are the ticket. Oh, they have one in section 216 upper zone for $307. Then it goes up $334. Let's see how high they go up. Wow. They go up to $400 when you're in section 208, and we're talking about what stadium is this in Atlanta? It's in Atlanta. $417. Yeah, it goes up, everybody. $500 in section 114 in Atlanta. It goes up even more. I'm scrolling. $600, everybody, in the lower section. Yep. There you are. $700, row U in section 120. What in the world, again, how out of touch must one be to sell tickets at a time like this? It shows such a disregard for people. And it goes up. I'm looking, $800. Yeah, $800, now $900, section 118, row T, $909. Let's see, $1,000, everybody, if you want it, section 121, row W, $1,022. Let's see if it goes up even more. It is. It's going up. $2,000 if you want the general pit admission. If you want to be in the pit, $2,004. It goes up. If you want section F2, row H, $3,036. I'm just going to, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. It caps out. If you are section lower, row 1, you are paying $6,739. All right. So what would make sense? Does anybody have any? People are buying them. How is that even possible that people are buying these tickets? Okay, so let's see. Something I wanted to. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. Let me just find this one to talk about the next concert, because the Madonna thing is yet to happen. So we were talking about another concert, interestingly, Beyoncé. So Beyonce had a concert where she was paid, they say, $24 million. And Dubai put on quite a show. They required her to be dressed more than we see. And there was another component to, just bear with me a moment. I'm still here with you. I'm going to get this set up. I had it already, but what is the most you've ever paid for a concert? Like, what do you think about paying these kind of prices? I mean, I'm just thinking this is unbelievable. Okay, so let me go ahead. I think I have it. Okay, I think I have it here. Okay. And I'm sorry, the cat is just has a lot to say to the birds right now. So if you're hearing Josephine is talking, she's very talkative. Okay, so where am I? That was a Hollywood Reporter. I'm about to talk about, oh, here it is, page 6. It comes from the New York Post. Okay, so Blue Ivy joins mom Beyonce on stage during first performance in 5 years. So for someone to, for 5 years, and it is a concert in Dubai of all places, and she was paid $24 million. A lot of people that have done research about Dubai, one of the things that we have learned about the fact that their society is very decadent, also like ours. So the decadence takes a new level. And some of them, they basically shop for women. And this is if you do research into the Dubai practices and rituals. They shop for women, and any woman is on the menu. So someone like Beyonce, for anybody who thinks that Beyonce is very powerful and she is a free agent person, I would just tell you that you might want to reconsider that might not be true, is that she may not have full agency of her body, I'll say. So if someone has the amount of money to pay for even a Beyonce, then guess what? She is what it will be on the menu for someone who could pay. And the kind of money over there is that kind of money. So I've heard that, a lot of women you would be very surprised about. When they are summoned to come to Dubai, when they are summoned, they go. Doesn't matter if they're married or not. Okay. So we have her daughter joining her, which is very odd, I'll say, because these nepotism babies, of course, we're watching how the younger generation of these celebrity children are now being put into the show business world. And it is very concerning because we're learning more and more about the practices. And it's like, why are these children put into these situations? So it says that the daughter joined her in a performance at Atlantis, the Royal Hotel's opening in Dubai. So this was just yesterday, Saturday. So Blue Ivy came out during Brown Skin Girl, and she looked grown up, they said, in red. And she danced along, had a microphone, and sang. And her dad was in the crowd. So if you think about her being in red and they're saying she looks grown up, I say red flags for me. Okay. Red flags for me. So you have Beyonce there. It's a picture of her. And I would say really study the picture if you are really into Beyonce. If you're a beehiver, really study. I would say study the pictures that are being put out and of Beyonce, and just study some of the details of her features and compare them across the platform of the pictures that are being produced lately of Beyonce. I would say that if you are someone that is very keen and you can see small details, you will see certain things that are not very consistent, if I can say that. People that are creative, especially if you're a more artistic person, you can look at things and you can look at these pictures. And especially, I used to like Beyonce a lot, and I listened to her music, and I got to know some of the images of her. And when I look honestly at a lot of these images, like this one in particular, it doesn't quite look like her. If I can be tinfoily for a moment, doesn't quite look like her to me. You can let me know what you think. I mean, I can see, I don't know. I can see some things that just don't really look consistent. So here she is in a very strange stage. Even the dancing, if you looked at it, it just didn't really scream Beyonce to me. Like, it was weird. So this big sun in the back, and it's odd. So here we are, and you can see how the dancers are very much covered up more modestly. And I can say, in being balanced, that it has a more elegant look to, to a performance. It's not necessary to be half naked to, do good art. So here we are, just really a weird vibe. I don't know, for the Beyonce beehivers, I wonder if you pick up on some of the weird kind of vibes. Let me know, because they are weird. um, hey, Brandon, you are a new name. Welcome, Brandon. Let's welcome Brandon to the chatmosphere. Hey, Brandon Jones. She has had some face work done. Okay, you can tell. Maybe some fillers. Okay, so thank you. That might be what it is. I didn't realize that, but yeah, I did hear she was having like a BBL, and why not do other things, right? So that is probably what I'm seeing. You let me know, everybody, because yeah, the guru says I paid 150 for Stevie Wonder Songs in the Key of Life tour like 8 years ago. I can see paying that for Stevie Wonder. His work has just been, you talk about a real, like, that's a legend, a musical legend. I could justify someone paying 150 to see him for some reason. I just can. Okay, so I want to go over to Beyonce's, and this is where I want to show you some inconsistencies that I find, and I want you to help me, especially you, Brandon, if you have some knowledge about this. Please feel free to drop anything in the chatmosphere. I'm going to go over to Beyonce's Instagram account, which I do peruse often, not as often as I used to in 2020. I'll say that I did look at her Instagram as I looked at Tom Hanks, and who else? Madonna definitely had a very active Instagram account when we had the lockdowns, remember? So I do check certain Instagrams here and there. I just haven't been doing it as consistently. But something told me with the advent of these concerts, I wanted to see, okay, what is Beyonce doing on Instagram? Because surely she will have something up that would right, wouldn't you think she would have something on her Instagram that would portray that she had this major concert? She was paid 24 million, they say, and she was in this opening of this amazing place over there in Dubai, and her daughter performed. I mean, this is a big deal. They say her husband was in the audience. So I'm just thinking her Instagram account doesn't reflect this. In fact, okay, for those that aren't into social media, I will try to explain things. I won't assume that you know this. I'll try to explain as I go along, hey, Adam, I'm glad you joined, Adam. See, Adam doesn't always agree with me, but we love each other, right, Adam? We love each other so much. So Adam is always like, I just love when you're here, because he probably has paid already. Do you have your tickets to see Madonna, Adam? You could tell me. I'm going to still love you if you bought tickets to see Madonna. Let me know, Adam. Okay, if you don't want to let me know in the chat atmosphere, you know how to get in touch with me. But he says too many people at concerts, not a fun time. I agree, Adam. My mother always made me aware that, you have to have, of course, when you're in big crowds, you have to have situational awareness. Like, I mean, you have to have it in spades, right? So here we are, and we're looking at hey, Johnny's here. If I missed you guys, I'm gonna definitely get to see you. Oh, Sherry Vasquez. Hey, Sherry, you said the photos are blurred. I found that to be very much the case, Sherry. If you notice that a lot of photography from 2020, and I would say even now, the quality of the photography in magazines has really slipped, and a lot of times you won't see the quality that you saw before 2020, if you know what I mean. I'm a big magazine person, so I will look at magazines. Sometimes I'll go to the bookstore and just look at magazines. I used to buy magazines a lot, but I had to stop, when you need to budget better, and magazines will cost you a lot of money. So a lot of times I would just, go and read them sometimes if I wanted to just see what was going on, or I would just buy In Style was my favorite. But when I looked at In Style, like if I was at the supermarket, I noticed that the paper was really cheesy and cheap, and the quality of the photography, like Sherry is saying, it was very blurred. So I was wondering, like, dang, did Josephine get a job in the magazine department? Is she doing these photo shoots? Because I'm sorry, no shade, Josephine, but it looked like you were taking those pictures during 2020. And even now, I mean, I might pick up a magazine even today, and I can tell the quality of the photos. It looks off in the paper that is used. So if you're a magazine buff, you might know what I'm talking about. You observe this. So okay, we're looking at the official Instagram account of Beyonce. And in the avatar picture, I'll point it out for anybody who's not on, right here that I'm circling. This is like the avatar picture. So this is the imagery from, she supposedly, has this big album. So we should see more activity in terms of, this, I don't know. This is what we used to see from her, but she doesn't have an active Insta stories. So on Instagram, you can make little stories and keep them going. And for someone like her, she should have a very active Instagram account. And this should be active right here. So you should be able to see her frolicking all through Dubai with her family, having dinner. We should be able to see her riding on a camel, maybe. They do things with camels, by the way. Yeah, that's one of the ugly truths about Dubai. They make people do things with camels. Yeah, a lot of the models from Instagram have reported these things. So yeah, the decadent like nature of Dubai is just like a bacchanal that you would think of, a big orgy. They have lots of money, and just depravity runs up. It's abounding. So your imagination probably could not even imagine some of the things that go on in Dubai. Okay, I would hate to be part of the cleaning crew, the people that clean homes and hotels. Those people, you talk about PTSD. These people, what a boy, oh boy, what they see and what they report. Okay. So we get our intel from a lot of sources. Just trust. So here we are again. And her Instagram is very dead for someone of her stature. So her last post, okay, is of the Proud Family. Now, if anybody knows, I never watched the Proud Family, but I have little cousins that used to watch it. That's from like the 90s, isn't it, everybody? Like, when was the Proud Family even a thing? But maybe this is for, I think this is supposed to be for Halloween, okay? So this is 11 weeks ago that this was posted, and this is Beyonce and her family. You see, this is, allegedly Jay-Z looking like Basquiat. And I guess this right here is Beyonce looking like the grandma, maybe from the Proud Family. And I don't know who the other people are. I'd see her daughter or maybe her other two children. I don't know who the other chick is. Is that her mom or sister? But again, it's weird that this is the last post, the most recent posting. And I'm pretty sure I'm on her official account. This is her official Instagram. So you can see Disney has chimed in. She's a big, has big collaboration with Disney. So that is her last post. Now let's look at the reels, because maybe by chance she has posted a reel that would show us something current. Well, no. It turns out that her latest reel is done. I won't play too much of it because you guys probably don't want to see this demonic. No, I won't hit play. You don't want to look at this demonic stuff. But this is a video from, let's see, 15 weeks ago, everyone. 15 weeks ago. Now, I just want to ask you, does that seem right for someone of her stature that her last posting was 15 weeks ago in the reels and 11 weeks ago on her post? And I'm just saying something is out of sync. I have been noticing this since 2020. And even if it's, if somebody wants to say that, oh, she doesn't do her own Instagram, she lets someone else do it for her, which is smart. I mean, if you can hire someone to do your social media, but if that's the case, again, why hasn't the social media person posted anything? Like, if my limited understanding of social media, I could do a better job for Beyonce's Instagram account. I would do daily reels and whatever. I could do a better whatever. So I don't understand. If you are part of her fandom, can you maybe drop something, even if you're not here now and you see this later? Can you drop something in the comment section and explain this to me? Because I have questions, okay? I have questions. And these are the inconsistencies that I find with these accounts. So this has to be her, because you see Carrie Washington, one of my family members. Hey, Washington. Carrie has made a comment here. So Carrie, this is official check mark here. So this is Beyonce's account. And it looks very dry. It needs watering. It needs some attention. And I want to show you going down. Just bear with me. I know this might not be enjoyable for some people, but I want to show you how she used to be more active in terms of, you could see more life, more personality. Now it's just a series of fashion shoots, and she did the cover of Vogue there, but it doesn't have that feeling. And I I'm going on a feeling that I have tapped this sort of, it's a feeling I'm getting, okay? Just a feeling. You know, us women, we have intuition that is a little different, right? So we're going now. This that I'm scrolling through. This is all the stuff to me that has no life to it. Does has no personality. It feels very dry and okay. So I want to go down to show you how she used to be more. You could see more of her personality. Maybe she would do something that shows her to be a real person. And okay, see, this is where we are. I have gone down to the point that I noticed a change in her Instagram. So she had a posting of Joe Biden. And this is dated, let's see, November 7th, 2020, everyone. So these are the kind of analysis that I do, my social media analysis, okay? Welcome. Okay, so she has JoJo there, and she says that she thinks he's good looking. Like, you might think it, you could be honest, does Joey look handsome? Would you give him some time if he invited you to be one of his wives or a nanny? So, no, I'm only kidding. I'm not related to Kerry Washington. Hey, pretty petals. I just say that because Washingtons, you know, if you think about it, all Washingtons that you know are black people. So, you know, I'm just saying we're only 13% of the population. What are the chances? So, all the black Washingtons, they're probably my relatives. So, yeah, who knows? I just joke and say that, okay? So if you so okay, Jojo Magoo, as Paul calls him. So here is Beyonce posting Jojo Magoo. Can you imagine Joey? All Joey, who has now been the president for 2 years, going on three, and he's about to be thrown under the bus. But there's nothing, you know, this is very weird. But she said something about him being handsome. So that's an old picture of Joey. Then she has an old picture of old Kamala. Look at that. Even Kamali got a baby picture. Young, not baby, but you know. There's Kamala, November 7th as well, 2020. So she is excited about these two. You see? She's showing, look, here is a something about voting. She was really into the politics of it. Look at that. She even wore a muzzle for Biden and Harris. Look at that. Isn't that weird? I'm just asking, isn't that odd? Because, you know, some of her fans, they will make excuses. I think it's becoming a little harder to do now. But they will say, oh, she's not into politics. She doesn't do politics. But when you look into it, you know that's not true. She very much was into politics. So I'm wondering, why is she not into politics in her postings anymore? That's what I'm saying, everybody. I have questions. You know, her old Instagram used to be different. And you know, I'm just, this is right around the time, I'm going to tell you, this is right here that I noticed some very tinfoily things like this right here, because we're doing a circle back. We're circling back because I want to show you the things that I observed. So this was Beyonce, a post from August 2020. And if you look at the hat on her head and you take a look at the necklace and the symbol of the necklace. I'm going to keep this on the screen for a minute because I want you all to tell me what you see. If you see something, say something, please. So the hat, what does that look like to you? I mean, be honest. And what does that necklace look like? If you can get a feel for that, if you can see it real well. There you are, Brandon. Brandon came in here with telling the truth. Thank you, Brandon. I agree. I agree. Yup, Mish. That's what I see too. I see that. And I'm wondering why. You see it. I didn't have to give you any. Did I even like I didn't lead you in any way, right? This is what you see. This is what you see, right? And it's weird. It was weird to me when I saw that. But the necklace has another symbol in it. It's like a triangle with lots of triangles inside. If you can see what I'm pointing it out. It's a triangle that goes in a little maze into the smaller part. So this is Beyoncé, and this is from August 2020. And then when I saw this picture, Sissy, remember when I told you there was a picture and she's holding flowers, and it hit me in a weird way when I looked at this picture. This is August 6th, 2020. I looked at her eyes, and it was something about this picture that it hit me, it shook me, because I was picking up some things that were really uncomfortable, and I only spoke it to certain people. It's something about this picture. This was the last time I would say that I identified the same person that I don't know. I'm just saying, I'll get into that a little bit more, but she sent prayers and thoughts to Jacob Blake, when we had that situation with Jacob Blake. So she was showing concern for social issues. So this is 2020. So, and talking about let your voice be your vote. So she was into, even here, she's making a post about brutality taking place in Nigeria. It has to be an end to SARS, she's saying. So she's pushing healthcare in Nigeria, always with that narrative of poor Africa needs our people to be saviors, right? So then we go back up, and so that is it in terms of what I could see of a person that I identified. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to show you that there's something very odd happening. And let me see, where was I? Oh, let me shut some of my tabs down, because I think I've covered some of these things so that I don't slow down my you know how that can happen. You all know I tend to have too many tabs open, so I'm going to shut a few down. All right. Okay, so this is what I want to say in terms of, let me present. Oh, no, this is what I want to do. I want to share Madonna's Instagram before I shut that down. Hold on. Hang on. We're going to hang out a bit if you have some time. If you were really hanging out with me on the porch, you wouldn't rush me, right? We wouldn't rush each other. We would sit and have our sips of whatever. Okay, so it's long. We do long and lilting live streams. Okay, so let's look at Madonna. I know it's dirty work. Somebody has to do it. All right, Madonna's Instagram has changed drastically. Since she has been investigated and it became public that she's being investigated for child trafficking out of Africa. So her Instagram went down to 3 posts. She just added this of her icon issue for Vanity Fair. But she has this very disgusting video right here with Amy Schumer, and Lil Wayne is in there, and some other degenerates, and they are talking about sex. That is always her thing. And for her to be 64, still talking about sex and the way that she talks about it, it's very degraded for someone of her age, and it shows that she hasn't grown as a person, even though she's supposed to be Madge and she's into Kabbalah and she's so enlightened. She doesn't act like an enlightened person. She acts like a degenerate, someone of a low vibration, a person that hangs out in the lower root chakras. Okay. So she took away, someone scrubbed her Instagram post. However, the reels are still there. So you can still see her degeneracy being played out on reels that I will not subject you to. But, this is a person who has a problem mentally. It is very apparent. And she's being told that she's an icon. This is a cultural thing in our society. And you see her looking ghoulish with these African children. Nothing about this looks good to me. It never has, to be honest. I never liked seeing her with these African children. I'm being real. So, what I want to show you is how we have the wheat and the tares. I'm going to show you through the people that comment. Okay. So, we are now, I'm thinking that even her biggest fans should know that she's possibly being, I don't know, looked into for something weird. So even you can see people loving her. Then you see people coming over and asking questions like, why are you deleting all your posts? Seems like you're trying to hide something. And then someone says, distraction. Why have you deleted all your Instagram posts? And then someone talking about the trafficking. But then you have somebody saying that they just bought their tickets, and someone's begging her to come to Brazil. Someone asking her, why did she delete the evidence? So you have this very weird, let me see. These are people asking the questions, but I want to show you and how it doesn't matter to some people. There are people that are someone said that they sold their apartment or condo to buy tickets to see her. You see people here, someone, they're calling her out. There's someone saying, see you soon in Amsterdam, and they have all the dancing emojis. And saying that the tickets are unaffordable. So some people are just complaining about the ticket prices, but still, why are you being investigated for child trafficking? And surely, I'm thinking her fans are seeing these things, but I want to get to some of the comments where you see somebody saying, I'm here for the comments. Child trafficking or no. And somebody here saying they can't wait for her concert. Come to Brazil. They seem to like her in Brazil. Someone asking, please don't forget us in Australia. They've been with her from the start. And I just want to show look at how we have, just in this comment section, we have such a diverse, it's the extremes. You have somebody they're calling her out for trafficking, even before the investigation. Some are asking again about the posts. You have someone that loves her. Someone asking about adrenochrome. See you in Miami, darling. What are the dates? See you in Sweden. Someone says wanting, needing, waiting. can't join the party when tickets are $1,000. I mean, really? So that's the only thing they're upset about. And then my comment, somebody, I had to have a debate with people that were telling me that she made these children's lives better. So I had to, tell the people that these adoptions were possibly not legal. And you can't take advantage of poor people that don't even have infrastructure for adoption. So I just had to let these people know. But you can see I even chimed in, and I don't chime in on a lot of these celebrity things, but I just wanted to put my a comment on, and Madonna kept it up there, or her team. And I just said simply, hey, Madonna, I used to rock with you growing up. Now I'm about to look deeply into what you're doing to children from Africa. You're not above God's natural law, and your money is no protection. So some people, they came at me for that. But, what are you going to do? Some people think she's a queen. And, look at this. Somebody said, leave kids alone. Somebody said, nice cover up. So do you think she is going to be able to have this celebration tour? So that I just, if you went over to her account, you will see that she is getting love and adoration and worship, and it doesn't matter. It's like people live, and that's what I wanted to bring up, is that people live in their own like little Cylons. They're echo chambers. So if anybody doesn't know about what's happening to her, then I wonder how much of a fan are they? Because I would think that you would know people are accusing your queen of such horrible things. Like, wouldn't you want to research so you can defend her like a beehive, like a good beehive should? So you don't see that. I don't know. You don't see people that have a lot of information, because the people that were defending her in my comment, under my comment, they were asking, well, they were saying that she did good by these children, and that, I should identify that these children have a better life because she's rich. And I agree that just because someone is rich, that they're going to be able to give someone from a so-called third world country a better life. And they need to stop those narratives, because that's what puts African children in danger, with these narratives that they need to be saved by some rich white woman. I mean, come on, people. We got it. Like, white women, you got to call your other white women out. Like, I know you're not part of this SHIT, but you got to call these white women out that are doing this stuff. I know you do. But more of us need to. More of you need to. More of us, period. So I want to show you that there is a little issue. It's not very little, but you have these people that have such a strong connection to fashion. And you have Beyoncé, who she modeled for Balenciaga. So you have her in the Balenciaga here, and they're throwing up that hand signal, her and Jay-Z, her husband. So we looked at her Instagram account, and not only Kim Kardashian is on the hook for this Balenciaga debacle that we can't forget about. There's so many distractions, and Kim Kardashian is not off the hook by any means. She may feel very happy that all these distractions are happening, but she still lots of red flags. So for Beyoncé to be modeling Balenciaga, she has modeled it, and she has children, and I don't remember a statement coming from her as a concerned mother who once wore and promoted Balenciaga. So why is that? And the reason, if you're wondering, why is she wearing Balenciaga and Gucci? Well, because if you look into the umbrella company, it is under the, what is it called again, you all? The company that Salma Hayek's husband, he is the CEO of the big corporation. And thank you for that reminder. You're right, Brianna. Africa is a corporation just like the USA. So yeah, it's, they pillage and rape this land in more ways than one. Molly, thank you for the super chat. No satanic concerts. Listen, that's right. I hope that the young people don't spend a lot of money that they need to be doing different things. I mean, I hope they don't fall into the trap of trying to go to these concerts. I don't know if these concerts are going to happen. However, I'm curious. I'm going to be looking out. So you have Gucci and Balenciaga are under the Kering. They're under the Kering group. So you see how she has the writing on her jacket. You know, it's a real, I don't know. I look at it now and it's weird that, people want to wear names across their body, brands. So you have Madonna also has modeled Balenciaga. And she's, really been a big fan of Balenciaga. As you can see, the crime tape all over the bag. So why hasn't she denounced Balenciaga? Why? So her Instagram, social media, no comment, nothing. And I want people to really start to think about these things because, when it comes to children, these people do not show a natural love, and they have done things to defile the innocence of children. Now, what I'm showing you right now, and this would be for any Beyonce, fans, she had a line of clothing for children called the House of Darion. This was a family name. It was a failed fashion brand. And Beyonce doesn't do well with fashion lines. And I wonder why she continues to come out with fashion lines. Could it be a cover for other things? I will put that as a question. Could it be that Beyonce's fashion affiliation could be a cover for something else? That's my question. And I base my question on some research that I've done, that I'm wondering now, I'm putting some things together. Because when you have a fashion line, your fashions are pretty much going to be manufactured in China, which means you are going to be involved very intimately in the shipping and logistics industry. And when I say shipping and logistics, I mean cargo, if you know what I mean. Cargo going through the shipping lanes of our world. Cargo for your fashions. So here is a children's line. And you look at this and tell me, is this a natural, loving thing for a woman to create a line of fashion for little girls? A woman who tells us that girls run the world. But these girls, little girls in high heels, being objectified. One little girl has a leopard pimp hat on and a boa, pink boas for the little girls. Why? Why is that okay? And what we are learning and starting to put a lot of connections, why would she do this? And we have an issue going on with children. Fashion. You tell me what you think about this line of children's clothes that was produced by Beyoncé. Thank you, Empress. Thank you so much for the super chat. How are you doing? I'm so glad you are here. Welcome, welcome, and blessings to you over across the pond in good old England. So, what's going on here? Why? Why would she do such a thing? Hey, DeWolf, welcome. I hadn't seen you in a minute. Greetings. And again, if I've missed you, please just know that I get into my little zone and I don't see everything, but put it in there again. And even let Karen know if you really have, if I'm missing your comment, let Karen know. She'll bring it to my attention. Okay, so I don't want us to forget these things, that people that have been held up in this idol, this American Idol position, that they have done things when it comes to children that we need to look into, and we can't excuse it. This is inexcusable. Absolutely inexcusable. And I've never heard her denounce it. I know that it was denounced by people. And that's the thing that we have to know. Your voice is powerful. Your pen is powerful. You are not a little voice out here in this wilderness. When you see something, you must say something. When it comes to children, they don't deserve this. They don't deserve this. This is not fair. Beyonce has harmed children by objectifying and sexualizing them. This is harm being brought to children. And she needs to be held accountable and investigated as well. Brianna says Katy Perry owns Shein. I didn't know that. Then Fenty, all of it. That's right. There you are, Brianna. Absolutely. And Cher, thank you so much for the super chat. Makes you wonder what her mom had her wearing. Yes, if you go back and look at, there are pictures of her when she was little, and she and her little friends, like they were trying to get their little singing group together, and they had boas on. Yeah, boas and lip gloss, and they were being sexualized. Absolutely. And that's only what we've seen in terms of pictures. So you can only imagine is right. It makes you wonder. Especially if you don't have a sense of right and wrong. Because I know many of us, if we were to design a children's line, it would be more like Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. It would be ruffles and cute little colors. These kids are wearing black. In my family, you weren't allowed to wear black until you were probably like a teenager, and barely then. Children wearing black, it is very sinister. Very sinister. And I don't know anybody, even her biggest fans, that can bring a good, just an excuse for this. You can't do it. So we have Madonna in Balenciaga. So you have Madonna, a person who just does the weirdest things, drinking water out of dog bowls, off of dogs, very weird practices. And what she shows us is so degraded that I can't even imagine what she does behind closed doors. So this is one of the African babies that's now grown up that she adopted. And look at what she promotes. So when we read that article the other day from the charges that the Ethiopian Federation has asked Malawi's president to bring an investigation into these adoptions of 4 of their babies. And this is one of the babies, David. And this whole vibe is off. And that's why we have to, as women, call this out. And we must expose this is not good. She is not fit to adopt a goldfish. And yes, they said she has done social experiments. And this is what we see right here. I think they coined I don't think they over exaggerated the point. If you look at the evidence of what they are alleging and asserting has happened to one of their African children, had he grown up in his own home, would this have been the outcome? What is going to be his mental state now? Because one of the people that tried to defend her on Instagram said, he wouldn't want to go back to Malawi. Well, of course he wouldn't. He's been mind controlled. He has been under the tutelage of one of the most powerful witches in Hollywood, who has studied Kabbalah. This is a crime. This is a crime. This is law. This is lawlessness that is off the charts. This cannot continue. We as Americans should hold other Americans accountable for these adoptions that they're doing. They are no great white hope for Africa. And I've told someone at work, she didn't like it. A white lady I worked with, she wanted to brag about all the stuff her and her church does for all the little dark African children. And I'm always over there. And I told her to stay out of Africa. Sorry, Africa. I spoke for you. I said, stay up out of Africa, okay? Why don't you do all your good works over here? Why don't you go on the east side of this town where you have a damn food desert? Why don't you go do some good work over there and take some poverty porn pictures over there? They don't need you in Africa. All right? No more poverty porn. Can we stop all that poverty porn and keep your ass up out of Africa? And go do all that good work here? So this has to stop. And I want my white sisterin and brethren to start calling your white people out on this. This is some bullshit. This is not going to continue to be upheld. And Madonna, we're going to watch some real, when I talk about some biblical stuff happening, because Madonna is emboldened right now. She is flexing on us. She's flexing on God right now. She's doubling down on her depravity. She doesn't care. They are trying to resurrect her career right in front of our faces. And then here we are, Kim Kardashian, you're not off the hook either. You're not off the hook, Kim Kardashian. This is another one that's going to take a mighty tumble, a mighty fall. This is Kim Kardashian and her daughter, Northwest. Looking every bit like her daddy, okay? He could never have said he wasn't the daddy, okay? You didn't even have to go on Maury Povich for this. You are the daddy. Look at that. Will you look at that? What in the heck is this? Kim Kardashian has an account on TikTok, and she and North have an account together. It's really something else. If you venture over there to look at it, you will be shocked. I'll tell you. I was absolutely shocked. I went over there and perused to see what this is all about. And I'm going to tell you, some of it was cute and funny. I got to be real with you. Her children are absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's not the children. We want to be very, clear that these children, it's not them. It is not them. But Northie is going to be very talented. The DNA of a child that comes from, I do consider Kanye to be very talented, very creative. Some people think he's a genius. And that's up for debate, of course. But he has shown concern, and especially with the way things are very imbalanced with the custody and, everything that goes on with the court system after a divorce. Men do get a bad deal. And I'll get into that another time. Like I said, I'm not dealing with the manosphere so much right now, but I can admit that the child custody laws and the way the courts are set up, the family courts, is very corrupt, and it really destroys men. And this is something where we're seeing it played out, where Kanye was very verbal about his concern about his daughter being on social media, and my daughter is one of those parents. You don't ever see my grandson on social media. We don't do that. We don't show him. And that is our decision. And, I can respect other people, but when children now have a social media presence, do you think they're going to agree with it when they get older? But there's archival information and documentation of their whole life on social media that can't be scrubbed. You can't scrub everything. So how is this okay? This is a woman who plays around with this. She's definitely on demon time. She really is. And this is very concerning right here. And so I want to show you that before long, you're going to have North becoming the next celebrity. And what is that going to be if you have grandchildren and children right now, and she becomes an icon for the culture? She takes over what her aging mother can't continue. So I can't imagine what's going to happen with this next generation, because already Northie, with her talents that are, I believe, in her DNA, she has a talent for makeup. Okay. So she does makeup that looks like something from Hollywood. She can do like zombie makeup. She's really into blood and gore. So she makes herself up with all of the, she has everything in terms of resources. So she puts all the gory makeup on her face and makes it look like, somebody just snatched the skin off, and it looks very authentic. She could probably get a job right now in Hollywood. And is she only 9 years old? I mean, go figure, a 9-year-old that can do Hollywood level makeup. She could get a job for Stephen King working on a movie. Why is it that this child is encouraged to play with makeup that would make her look like she was torn apart and bloodied? Why? So It's a lot of questions I have, just a lot of questions like how does that even how does that, where is the trajectory? How is that even a thing? Why would she be so consumed with blood and gore? This is a little girl who has everything she wants. So, you can tell me what you think. So let's get into this right here, okay, of the toxic femininity. We have MILF Manor, okay? We have women like this who are now doing thirst traps and, just being over sexualized like a teenager. So I don't know what you think about this MILF stuff, but I'm calling it out as toxic. And older women need to be ashamed of themselves. Where is the shame anymore? Where is the shame? MILF Manor, this is again, I told you earlier, these are women who are now wanting to date, I'm going to say it, children. Children. And this is acceptable? This is not acceptable, women. And we need to call women out. This is not okay. And it's not going to become a trend. We have to stop this. No woman should feel comfortable around you telling you that she's dating a 20 something and she's in her 60s, 50s. She shouldn't feel comfortable telling you that. Again, I reference what happened between the Smiths, right? Jada Pinkett Smith, who, I mean, we wouldn't have known about it if this stuff hadn't spilled out into the public. And it is the court of public opinion. And that's why we need to speak, because the court of public opinion is powerful. They want us to not say anything so they can take more and more ground. And our children and grandchildren will now be hunted by old MILFs. Do you want your son being approached by a MILF smelling like mothballs? And you're going to bring her home? Well, I mean, how does that even work? This is not cute. Is this Elon's mom? Okay, if it's Elon's mom, oh well. She's beautiful, but all I'm saying about this is that the older woman is now fighting aging in a way that's not balanced. It's not healthy. The wellness is not in it. Yeah, Cher now. Cher has a man. Cher is in her 70s, right? And she actually stole the man that, you want to talk about 6 degrees of separation? The Philadelphian Amber Rose, who Kanye, that's another one that Kanye brought to the cookout. Kanye has some answering to do. He brought Kim and Amber Rose to the cookout. So Amber Rose's young man is now Cher's toy. And it's disgusting. So MILF Manor is toxic and it shouldn't be continuing. It has to stop. So we now have this, as I said, now trending. So I know you didn't expect to have to explain to a young person what a golden shower is. Yeah. Who would have thought? I never heard that discussed in the public sphere until now, 2023. So it lets you know where we are in the degradation of our culture. So you have a woman, I told you all to make a note of the name Young Miami. So this is the name of a woman. I don't know her real name, but this is one of the girlfriends of P. Diddy. So now his name is taking on a meme of P, as in, urinate P. Diddy. So this young woman goes on a show with an older woman, Trina, who's, I think, in her 40s, should be more of a moral coach, to a younger woman. I heard someone even mention that. So they're doing, I don't know, truth or dare, I don't know, asking questions. And this is supposed to be some podcast that really, pushing the envelope. You notice now that the way they push the envelope has become clown world. It's now so stupid. We don't need to hear about your sex life every 5 minutes. I mean, grow up and be an adult. How does that look? The younger people looking at you for these people. This is it's so deplorable. So this woman says that she likes golden showers. And she says it very coquettish and coy, like this is something you would actually say on live or just a big platform. Just say this. She was that comfortable saying that she likes to be degraded in such a way. And the first time I ever heard of this practice was in college. I went to Spelman College, and it's a black boule haven, as I've told you all, and I will continue to expose the black boule. So there was a young woman from Philadelphia. All the Philadelphia, if you were from DC, we had even little clubs like the DC Go-Go Club, the Philly Club, the LA Club. Everybody had their little club, right? So we had like our little clubs, and we knew everybody on campus who was from Philly, if you were Morehouse, Clark, or Spelman. So we all hung out and stuff like that. So there was a young woman from Spelman. She went to Spelman with me from Philly. And I thought she was a really intelligent young lady. I admired her intelligence, and she seemed to be very strong, like a strong personality. So I was really surprised and disappointed when I learned that she was a sweetheart for the Qs. If you know the fraternity called Omega Psi Phi, am I right? I haven't been really paying attention to the details in a while, but Omega Psi Phi, I think it's called the Q Dogs. If you know about the Q Dogs, the purple and gold, purple and yellow. So the Q Dogs are known as highly sexual, guys, real aggressive, rough, So this young woman was a sweetheart. This is an auxiliary group that you assist the fraternity. I was actually a sweetheart. I will admit, I was an alpha sweetheart, Alpha Phi Alpha. I was a sweetheart for a little bit of time before I started to feel like I need to denounce this. So a lot of them didn't like that I denounced my membership. I didn't take an oath or anything. But it was just an auxiliary, like little sister, as they looked at it. That's unless you were invited to the orgies, which I wasn't. But that's another story for another time. But this Philadelphia, young woman, fellow Philadelphian, she wanted to be she was just in love with the Omegas, the Q Dogs. She was so obsessed with them, right? And a lot of young women had, interesting. Yeah, Lakers colors. That's right. If you think of Lakers colors, you'll think of the Omega Psi Phi, or as they call them, Q Dogs, okay? So she looked at these guys because they were older, you're like a little sister. So, they're cute. All the guys are cute from Morehouse. You have your little crush. So she was enamored, and she did a lot of things, a lot of their bidding. And I didn't know about this. There were some whispers going around campus that she did a lot of bidding for these men, these young men. And I learned that some of the bidding that she did was she received the golden shower ritual. And when I was really naive, okay? I didn't know what the heck, what's a golden shower? What? So you're in college now. You can definitely ask somebody to explain things to you. So I had big sisters and stuff, and my roommate, she was from California. California people are kind of faster, so she knew what a golden shower. I got my information, okay? So they explained what a golden shower was. And I'm going to tell you, when I realized that this girl, that here I am thinking she was just so on the ball, so intelligent. I thought she was a strong young woman. It hurt me. Like, I have to tell you, deeply, it hurt me to know that she was allowing such a degraded thing to happen to her. And what I learned is, like, she was used in this way a lot. And it seems like I lost touch with her. Like, she just, I don't know, it was like a distance that happened, but I was always bothered to have learned that this was something that she was partaking in, because I was learning about a lot of different things. One day, me and my Morehouse boyfriend, we were at like a party. It was like a party, you're at a party, but it's a party within a party, if you know what I'm talking about. And me and my little Morehouse boyfriend, we were like little hippies. You can imagine, we were like crunchy granola, but we were cool with the cool kids too, somewhat. So I was sitting in this, like, whatever, we were at like a place, like, I don't know if it was a dorm. I just remember we were sitting on a sofa, and it was like a little living room area. It was a boring party, but we were just sitting there, and I was noticing guys were going in and out of this one bedroom. They were just going in and out, in and out, in and out. Different guys. Just all different guys going in, maybe 15 minutes or so, 10 minutes, coming out, another guy coming in. And I asked my little boyfriend, like, what's going on? And he was naive too. He was looking at me like, I don't know what is going on. We were like, what's going on here? And we left. We left. It was like very, the feeling was very uncomfortable. And there were lots of things that I can document that I learned that was going on these campuses, the Black Boule, okay? How they get down. Exactly. That's what was going on. Because we knew it was a woman, it was a young woman in there, a girl. I didn't know, I couldn't confirm it, but that's what it seemed like. Maybe we should have done something. I don't, you look back now and you're like, what should we have done? I don't know. But it hurt me. And that was another thing that hurt me, when it really dawned on me what I was possibly, witnessing. And again, when I realized this woman from, this young woman from Philadelphia had allowed these Omega Q dogs to do this golden shower ritual, I was sad. I was sad. And eventually, I didn't see this young woman anymore. Like, by sophomore year, I didn't see her. And, I didn't know anybody who knew what was going on with her. It was like, where is she? And it makes you wonder because I saw another young woman that I knew from my dorm and freshman dorm. She fell off as well. She was one of these, strong-willed young women, and whenever we went to parties we used to stick together. We would say nobody leaves, nobody we came together and we're going to leave together, and we all would, coordinate a ride. And she decided one time we went to a college party, she wanted to go off with some guys that she met. And we were like, trying to ask her not to do that. Like, come back to the dorm with us when we leave. And she's like, no, I left my mother in Ohio, she told us. So she didn't want us to be her mother. And, we couldn't force it. And she went partying with these guys, and something happened. I don't think she ever explained what happened, but something happened to her that night. Like, they set her up, and she left. She left college. She never came back. She went home and never came back. I don't even know to this day how she's doing. But she was a very, when I say intelligent, when it came to books, she was very intelligent. She was from a very good neighborhood in Ohio. She was from one of these very exclusive black boule neighborhoods, in Ohio, you probably know what I'm talking, these really exclusive little enclaves. And she was from one of those areas. She wanted to be a lawyer, and she would have been amazing. I don't know. I hope she got herself on track, but I had a strong suspicion that something really bad rocked her entire world, and she couldn't even complete college because of it. And when I hear this young Miami trying to normalize golden showers, we have to say no, enough. We have to draw a line, because right now, everyone, this is trending. You may have to have an uncomfortable conversation that you were not prepared to have to talk to a child about, because these people affect culture. They create the culture of America, whether you like it or not. Whether you think you can insulate yourself and your children in your bubble, I'm sorry. We don't have that privilege anymore to stay in a little silent bubble when golden showers are trending this Sunday. And I wonder how many pulpits spoke about this and had solutions and guidance. But I'll tell you this, we cannot turn our head away, as uncomfortable as it is. And we must tell young girls and young women like young Miami that you should not be enjoying golden showers. You should be actually ashamed to say that. That should never come out of your mouth. But because it did, you need to feel the full wrath of women. Because this is not the modern womanhood that we want. And I'm sure that the majority of women don't want golden showers to be trending and to be normalized. It's degrading. It's a degradation of a woman. And that's what's happening at a rapid pace. The attack on the natural woman. So we must put a standard up for young women and girls. that Young Miami should be rebuked. She should be ashamed. And she should actually apologize for even putting that out into the atmosphere. But I'm sure she won't. But they are going to progress with this, everyone. The fact that you may not want to hear about it, you may not be interested, won't stop the progression. So, how are we going to combat this culture? Because in Dubai, anybody that goes to Dubai, see these behaviors that Young Miami is saying she enjoys, these are the things that are going on in Dubai. When somebody goes to Dubai, if you know a young woman who is going to Dubai for work, you might want to intervene in some way. Intercession, prayer, whatever. They are going to be degraded. I don't know what it is about their culture that has this embedded so much. My guess is that it's decadence of having so much material wealth. And this is how you lose your soul. Young Miami will regret this because she will be thrown away like the toilet that she's being used as. And Dubai is known as the porta potty place. They turn women into porta potties. And so all of the things that are excreted from the body are unleashed on women. All these models and glamorous, getting flued out. And it's being documented. So a lot of women, unfortunately, are going to have to live with regrets when they realize that they sold themselves out for pocket change, for a handbag and some shoes and a trip. So yes, this is where we are. And I hate to be the bearer of the news. I think that was it. That women are actually the portal for this destruction of our culture and society. Women are the queens right now, the mothers of this culture. And I'm putting it at this is on our step, women. This is clown wave feminism. And the dark queens are about to have concerts right now. And lots of young women are going to flock. Men are not into this stuff, to be honest. Just gay men, to be honest. Gay men like Beyoncé and Madonna. But not other, like heterosexual men aren't too much into these artists. So they poison the minds of the gay men, of the women and girls that worship them. And they are causing a lot of imbalance in these groups as they are being worshiped and followed, emulated, and adored. And it has to stop. This matriarchy, it's trash. This matriarchy is complete trash. Shout out. Oh, are you a Morehouse brother, Brandon? Hey there. What's up, Morehouse? The house is in the house. Everybody, let's give Brandon some love. I don't know, Brandon, are you part of the Black Boule? I hope not. Are you? You must not be, because you didn't come at me, Brandon. But I'm glad you joined today. Welcome. Oh, you graduated in 2003 from Morehouse. Well, congratulations. Oh, 2002. I know how Morehouse is, bro. You know you're not going to get out of Morehouse in 4 years, everybody. Morehouse has some janky practices going on. You go in Morehouse, you're on the long term plan. You're going to get out of Morehouse in probably 6 years, right, Brandon? Tell the truth. But Spellman, they have their act together. You're going to get through in 4 years. But we used to always joke around about the Morehouse guys taking longer. Sorry, bros. But they're not happy with me right now, Brandon. You're probably one of my. No, I have a few other Morehouse brothers, but a lot of them are probably disowned me, and that's okay, isn't it, Brandon? I still have you. See that, everybody? I still have Morehouse brothers. And Madi, hey Madi L, yes, welcome Madi. A complete trash. This matriarchy is complete trash. Let's throw it all away and come up with something different, because women are not going to take over this planet, everybody. That's not the way it's going to work out to be. That's not the solution, to have women just take over. I mean, look at this. This is craziness. It has to be a balance, and we need some healing. And like I said, Girl Code and we're going to be talking about healing going forward, but we got to get our hands dirty. We have to expose it and analyze it and whatever, come up with some stuff. But this ain't it, everybody. This is not the way to move forward. Okay? So I will be, I know it was a long one, but again, this is how it would be if you hung out with me. You wouldn't be rushing, right? We would have a nice long brunch and talk and, hang out for a few hours, right? Healing, Girl Code, right? Girl Code and I will probably have another Girl Code. I wanted her to tap in, but you know, when she can, but I'm going to talk to you, Girl Code. I want to debrief with you about some of this stuff, because woo, child, this is so much. Mercedes says, my grandma on my dad's side had a whorehouse in the Dominican. Yeah, raised her kids in the. Oh, wow. Yeah. We have a lot of things in our family, that we have to make sure we cut those familial, as they say, generational things that happen. And oh, Girl Code is here. Sissy, you're here. Yay, you tapped in. I was waiting for you. What's up? Can you hear?
I can hear.
Hey Sissy, what's up?
I was just waiting for the right moment, so I hi again.
Hey, wait, I can't hear you. Can you all hear Girl Code? Let me know.
You can't hear me? See?
No, it's kind of like I can't hear, but maybe everyone else can. You know how these live streams are.
Well, you know what? My phone has been acting really silly, so it could very well be. I don't know. My phone is acting silly. Can you hear me a little better?
Can you all hear? Sean saying in and out. Denise says no. Hey, Denise Whitman. Faint. Yeah, Flower Girl. That's how it's kind of faint going in and out.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and go out and try to come back in.
Okay. All right. Let's see if that. Okay, we'll see if that works. Okay, let's. Ooh, this will be great. So yeah, we're gonna have more conversations. I know, because, as I said, this is increasing right now. They're amping it up in a way that, if we don't at least vocalize that this is not acceptable, I mean, I can't imagine what next year might look like. Year to year, the march, the crossing of lines is just increasing. It's unreal. Sherry, I wanted to tell you something about Northwest. Oh, yeah, what is it? What do you want to say? Can you say it in the chat or hit me up on, and that goes for everybody. I let you know that some of the things that I can partner with you if you want to set up a time, if you want to do some, just looking over your finances to see how you're protected, to see different things. If you want to ask questions, just have a complimentary analysis, and just hit me up on social media. I'm on everything is my name. So you can just hit me up and we can schedule a time, and it's complimentary. Okay. So I just let you know that, and I'll be following up with a lot of you that we have talked and done things, and just see how you are with the new year. If you have questions about, different financial products and things, and just to make sure you're protected, you can always hit me up. Okay. And if you want to tell me about North and you had that, just hit me up on Instagram or Facebook or even Twitter, because I've gotten messages on Twitter. They have a private messaging on Twitter. So some people have reached out to me there. So I just want to, definitely keep those lines of communication open to you. So you can always find me on a social media platform. I'm on a few. Thank you, Molly. See, Molly has done a complimentary. So, and we can definitely reconnect, and it's with anything, everybody, because of the turmoil we're having, and you may have questions about your 401ks and different things, and you can schedule just a complimentary review. Okay. And I'm waiting around to see if Girl Code will come back on. Sunny day. I am back on Telegram. I have to get in the practice of it because I can't get in my old Telegram. But yeah, I'm back on. I just need to reactivate myself in Telegram. But I'll keep you posted. Sissy, are you back? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I pray that I'm back. Can you hear me?
I can. Shawnee wants me to. You told your daughter about the big spoon. I will absolutely show Shawnee the big spoon. You want to see? Yes, it's big spoon time. Sometimes tell your daughter is sometimes it's time for a big scoop of truth, right? So there you are. We got the little spoon. Little spoons become big spoons. Okay, Sissy, you there? Let's hear. Let's test out your volume.
So testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
It's still garbly for me. Are you all hearing her good? Well, rather? You're welcome anytime for you, Shawnee. So say something again. Let me hear.
Okay, so Sissy, you remember I was telling you that my speaker has been acting crazy the last week or so. So I don't know. I figured that, God would work those abilities to let me come through, but I kind of figured that I would have trouble. I don't know. Can you hear me well? Can you all hear me?
I think it's better now, right, everyone? You're hearing her better?
Okay. All right. It's
Okay.
a little more. I mean, I swear I got the phone like in my throat, like in my mouth to be able to speak. The whole bottom of my phone is literally in my mouth.
Okay. I went on mute hoping that it might make the sound better, but they're
Okay.
saying they can hear you. So
Oh,
go
very good. Well, this
so
was
go ahead and let me know what you think about everything. While you're doing that, I'm gonna do my hair, if you don't mind.
you're so cute. I mean, this was a really uh, live stream. Time has been flying in ways that I really can't put my finger on, but the 2 hours went by really quick. It really seemed as if it was more like 30 or 40 minutes. It was really informative. And you hit the nail right on the head. And I had made a mention in the chat, and I know that some of our family members were privy to this live stream that Karen, and I did. We had did a deep dive when the Obama birthday party had come around. So Obama had a birthday party, and this was the beginning of our suspicions, and we were just like, something is really off about this birthday party. I mean, they made no mention about, the chefs, and just the whole setup was just really off. And I wanted to just talk really quick about a comment that Britney Spears had made recently. There was some sort of photo op put together that Britney Spears had attended the birthday party of Paris Hilton a couple of weeks ago. And Britney Spears had come out with a tweet or some sort of a, comment. I'm not sure if it's a tweet or just like a statement of sorts. But she said, well, I haven't been to a birthday party in over 12 years. I do not understand how it is that my image is being displayed that I was at a Paris Hilton birthday party when that never happened. So that was the first little clue that we had someone from the inside actually being used, if you will, their likeness, their image, whatever it is, their voice, their character, in ways that the deep state, saw fit. And Britney Spears was very forthcoming that she had not attended this birthday party that they said that she was, in attendance to. And so, I think of that when I look at the Madonna concert or, the upcoming concert and the Beyoncé concert, I can't remember what year it was this year. Do you remember the year exactly when Tupac first, so-called passed away? Do you remember that year? Was it something like 92 or 93?
Wait a minute. Repeat that, please. The year of what? Say it one more time. It went out on my end.
Oh, okay. Do you or any of our family members in the chat remember the year that Tupac, so-called, passed away, died? Tupac, remember Tupac and Biggie? When did
Yeah,
Tupac?
yeah. Tupac. Okay, yes. I remember the year. Yes. I can't recall it off the top of my head, but what year was it?
Oh, I don't recall exactly. I want to say it was something like the 92 or 93. But the reason why I make mention of Tupac, because if we can recall, somebody in the inside was saying that they were working. I don't know if it was some sort of stage employee or maybe, I don't know, but they started talking about this holographic show or this holographic concert that they would put on in the name of Tupac, because the fans were just really disappointed that this whole East Coast West Coast thing was going on. And not to get off topic, I'll bring it right back in with what's going on with Beyonce and Madonna. And this isn't Bible. This isn't the end factor. It's just what I can see and what I'm making of it. They had come with this holographic concert, if you will, for Tupac. And I mean, the people were amazed at, this technology. I mean, it seemed so real as, did his performance on the stage. And this was over a decade, or just about, a little over a decade ago. And so, can we just imagine how much further technology has come with them being able to put on shows, if you will, in the likeness of these celebrities that are really, I'll just say, unavailable to do so for themselves?
Mm,
I
mm.
mean, little holographic images, they can really do some things. What are you thinking about that, Cindy? This being a holographic show.
I hadn't thought of that, Sissy. That is really interesting. You're right. Hey, Kamala, Camilla, rather. I'm sorry, Camilla. But Okay, now that you bring that up, Sean is even saying, "Yup, creepy hologram." Yes, I remember that holographic concert, and it was they. Some people were like clowning it because they were like it was so cheesy looking, but again, with some time, it would be not cheesy anymore. But did they release a cheesy version just to kind of misinformation us to think that the hologram was so cheesy that you could tell, oh, they won't be able to fool you with it. It's just cheesy. It looks like somebody did it in the science project, right? But now that you're saying that, I put my tinfoil hat on to say, yes, the holographic technology is probably so amazing what they really have. So I'm glad you put that out there. That is something to consider.
Absolutely.
Hmm,
And it'll be
definitely.
that, at some point in the future, maybe a certain exact moment with the holographic images or the holographic concerts of Tupac and others that they have put on, just to see, what our fifth dimensional eyes can witness. Now that we have raised our consciousness, if you will, we would probably be able to see things because, according to what I noticed, I think, well, according to what I think I remember, okay, now I could be wrong, but I remember him actually, when I say him, Tupac, I remember him kind of like passing things off back and forth to people that were like on the stage with him. So I guess for me at that time, I didn't think it was. I was thinking to myself, wow, this was really well put together. They were able to sell the concert, So I don't know. I like to think that this is a white hat performance, and they're getting our Nasara money together through the likeness of so-called celebrities. Because I really doubt that they're actually around anymore. It just doesn't seem to be the case. With so much CGI, everything running digital, I know that they wouldn't be able to pull this trick off, in the analog way of doing things. And so, remember they were sending forms to everyone's house. You got to get away from analog. You got to go digital. I mean, even if you didn't have a cable, if you weren't into Wi-Fi, you just could not have an analog driven television set anymore. And that's because, the devices
Hmm.
of space are all technically driven. And so that they knew that this day would come where they still had
You know, can
can you
is
hear
everything
me?
good with the connection?
Did I go out? Did I go out? Can you hear me?
Let me know if everything's good. Are you still there, Sissy? Yes, actually better right now.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm so sorry. This phone.
You were better actually coming in.
Oh, okay. Now, where did you last leave off hearing what I said?
I heard where you said something about they were pushing people to get off of analog. I heard that. That was the last thing I heard. Um, that's deep because what's interesting about you bringing up Obama's birthday party and how you, me, and Karen like decoded that. Obama's administration was when I remember they were pushing people to get rid of their old televisions. Remember? It was such a push, like you have to get rid of it, like you said. But it was like I remember it happened when Obama came into office, and I was very concerned. I was talking to my cousins about like why are they pushing, especially older people, to get rid of these televisions that were working fine. I had a concern. I didn't know why, but I did. And people thought I was making a big deal about it. They were pushing
No,
digital.
no, you weren't. Those of us who gave the rock. eyebrow, if you will. We knew that there was something, a little off about that. I wouldn't
Yep,
even say it was
definitely.
just, why is this push going for so hard to go digital? And so now that we realize that, today, we realize that, CGI and, the tech space, is able to be manipulated and it's able to be controlled, digitally. One would not be able to do that if you had analog television, right? And so I think that's a big part of the reason why they moved to the digital space. And we're seeing a lot of the things that we see today. And it makes for a public who's already in a really that much more difficult to pick up when they're actually seeing them. We were taught as children, well, seeing is believing. And so, they see celebrities. And so, in truth, they do believe they're actually in spaces that they're being told that they're actually not in.
You know what? The sound, I don't know what's going on with the sound, but it's going in and out for me. I wish I could get this thing fixed. But you know
So,
what? Listen.
you, Sissy, it's my phone. It's not even you. And so, wanted to call and give a little piece of the pie. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll tap out because I don't want this phone to be disrupted to the ending of your live stream. So it's not you. It's actually this phone. So I
Oh,
apologize.
no, no, don't apologize. You know what? We have to do this. We have to get together and like plan a time to just like talk about some things because it's so much. And you're capturing a lot of things, and we're circling back and putting some things in like better like vision. And this is important right now because we're into, as you all can see, different times. And these times are going to call for a different type of strength that we have to tap into. Of course, our rock is the Lord, okay? God Almighty, Jesus Christ. We have a rock, okay? We have an anchor. And we have to tap into strength and ask for strength to be renewed because these are very demoralizing times that we live in. If you're paying attention, if you can live in a bubble, I mean, I can't imagine still being able to live in a bubble of comfort, but we have to figure out some things and bring some solutions to the table and healing, especially the healing between the family, the original family, the man and the woman. And I believe that part of the healing is for women to be very honest about the toxicity that women are bringing into the world, are birthing into the world. A toxicity that is actually turning in on women. It's actually turning in on women. And we have to stop this somehow. We have to stand up and we have to use our voice. Use the power of the pen. Use your power as a free person to say that we will not condone this. We will not consent to any more of this. We must protect the children and their innocence at all cost. We have to. So thank you for joining. If again you have any information, let this be an ongoing project that we do together. Like if you're a Beyonce fan and you can answer the questions that I presented about the inconsistencies in her social media, the weirdness of this concert, and just everything about her and Madonna right now having these concerts. And waking maybe some of the people that are still caught in the worship that we know, young people, just protecting. We have to protect them. And we have to let them know that this is not a good path to go down. Women and their free sexual liberation, it leads to a bad place. They don't tell you like what young Miami is going to go through later when she has regrets, when she's thrown away. It's a lot of mental health issues, but there are solutions. There is a remedy. Glad you think so, Alan. Thank you. I'm glad that you hung around for 3 hours. Woo! We did 3 hours, everybody. So I'll be back. We'll talk about some more things. Maybe we get everything worked out. I really want to hear what Girl Code has to say about this. Maybe we'll do a special pickup from here of just context and things that we can consider. So again, have a good one, and I'll be talking to you real soon. And hey, Tiffany Vinci, Celine, yes, Tiffany, yes, indeed. We talked about her clothing line, very disturbing. Celine Dion, yeah. So I guess she'll be having a concert next, huh? But yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. All right, so I will in the stream now, but we'll get back together. I'll keep you posted. If you look for a notification, if you haven't liked or subscribed, I have a backup channel too, and you can subscribe to that. And you can also look for me on other social media platforms. I try to keep you posted on when I do some lives and things like that. Yeah, DeWolf, let's continue the conversation for some solutions. Yes, you are such an honorable man, and I thank you for coming and hanging out. Hey, Sunny Day, you're welcome. Thank you. Yep, all of you, thank you. Pilgrim's Journey, Michelle says. Yes, yes. You're welcome, Miss Shawnee. Love you. Love you, Sissy. I'll see you soon. We'll chat. PH Joy, circle back then. Maybe after. Okay, there you go. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.